I'm Dan Simpson. I play lots of different instruments and I lead a group called This Venture who make fun music.
1, 2, 3. One, two, one, two.
Adventure was a Christmas gig to raise money for Crisis, who are a charity who especially have a campaign at Christmas to help people out. And I came up with the idea of it because I like Christmas music quite a lot and lots of different types of Christmas music. And the other reason was that we, as such a big group of musicians, there are about 11 of us all together, it's quite hard for us to play at other people's gigs, so we thought we would start our own gig, and that's what Adventure was. That's new voice sits at the back. That's Matt, who plays drums and con, so as well as playing a full kit, he often just hits a box, sometimes with sticks, sometimes not with sticks. His brother is Dave, and he plays the fiddle for us. The third most regular member of the group is Alex Walls. Before the Adventure, he'd only played electric bass with us, but at Adventure he started playing double bass as well, and he started doing that more. There is also Shanon O'Donnell, who sings and plays guitar for us, as does Christina Barnes. Both of them are very good singers and play acoustic guitar. And then we have John Nelson, who also sings with us and plays both acoustic and electric guitar for us. For the first time for Adventure, we had a friend of mine called Alice, who was also singing with us. The final 4 people that we had were a group from Rickmansworth called the Regal Narwhals and a friend of theirs. Their lead singer is a guy called Chris, and then the other 2 are David and James. And David plays electric guitar with them on a guitar he built himself, which is quite exciting. Their friend is called Finn, and he plays silly synthy things and piano and also melodica, which he's been lending out to a few of us. And I think that was it for that gig. Done quite a lot of gigs by the time we did Adventure. It must have been about 15 or so with that group. We played at a number of different places. Some were pubs, some were places like coffee shops, it's open mics there. It was very different doing our gig. It took us many months to organise the gig. We started work on it in October, and it happened on the 1st of December, so that's a couple of months that we worked on it for. I think someone should take as much time as possible to plan a gig. Ideally leave about 4 months from when you start thinking about the gig until it actually happens, especially if you're having to learn new material for the gig, because that's the main bunt of it. You can do lots of it in about a week to actually get it ready, but it's the making sure that you've got everything up to scratch that's the main thing. One of the members of the band, Shanon, is a member of the church that owned the place that we played at. So it was in a scout hut, and we took up half the place ourselves, so it was very intimate and we were very close to everyone, and that felt really nice for a Christmas gig. It was just the first place that we could actually work how we wanted to, which with such a weird group is important. Surely to I've got a song called Come On, Come On, Emmanuel. Thank you. Oh come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Oh, come. Learning the material for Adventure was quite interesting. We had a vast amount of people playing, and we liked a lot of different music, and we tried to draw on as much different music as possible for the gig. Bringing people together was very hard in that, because there were some people that we'd only met a month before the gig, which was quite interesting, especially in rehearsals, and we didn't rehearse all together until the gig day. So we worked on rearranging things. We didn't want to just play songs through, we wanted to do our own versions of them. Oh come thou dayspring, come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here. Disperse thy gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee. We had a lot of different things to get the word out for Adventure. We had a hashtag which was Adventure because it was called Adventure. We had Rhii doing a fantastic poster type thing for the gig, which was plastered everywhere. On Facebook we had an event which I think is really useful for when you're making a gig, because when people start going to it, other people see that they've gone to it, whereas if someone asks someone else to go on Twitter, they might forget about it. It's a kind of solid reminder that you're going to something, and people can invite others and things like that. So that was incredibly important to us, and that was the main bit of our campaign to get the words around. In ancient time did live the Lord, in clouds and majesty adore. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O So we did pretty much everything ourselves, with a few helpers and parents and the like. We started off, when we arrived at the hut, by decorating it. We were working with tinsel and basically anything we could bring from home just to make it look really silly and Christmassy. We wanted it to be very sentimental, very much reminding people of their childhoods, so we had to make sure that every wall was plastered with tinsel and things like that. We had to set up the sound equipment. We did that fairly quickly and then moved on to sound checking, and when we were sound checking, that was when the real problems started. As ever, everything goes wrong in the sound check, but that's supposed to happen. At least as things went wrong in the sound check, they didn't go wrong on the nights. The sound check was the bit where we realised that it was actually happening, so we had to pull ourselves together. It's very important to choose a good sound engineer. We chose a guy called David Tant, who is a friend of the band's. Something that's brilliant about him is that he's very musical as well as being very good at the tech, and that's incredibly important in a gig, because the number of times bands have to put up with people who are very good at the tech but don't understand people as musicians and how they actually want things to sound. It's so important to know both sides of it. We had some mulled wine to get ready, and just to make it a bit more Christmassy, we had mince pies as well, and we got that ready, and then people started arriving, and we had to meet and greet and mingle with people and things before the show started.
Gave us a Pumphrey song. Welcome to my Christmas song, and I'm thankful for you.
So the show itself started at 7:30 on the night. It was a mixture of some folky stuff and some rocky stuff and indie things. As ever with our group, things went wrong, but not too wrong. We had to regroup after the first bit. We started on the next section, which included the Regal Narwhals, as I mentioned earlier, and that was where the audience really started getting going, because it gradually got louder and louder as the evening went on, until at the end of the evening we had everyone together singing Jingle Bells.
We can help to entertain you all without worry. So Merry Christmas, one and all. Things are at the beginning. Asking you if you love life, stepping into Christmas.
I think we learnt quite a lot from the experience. We learnt certainly that we needed to plan things a lot quicker in advance, how we work as a team, and a main thing that we've learnt is who we can rely on to do different things. So we learnt we could have David to do the sounds. We learnt that our parents could do the mince pies and things like that, and yeah, it was just a good way of learning what we're capable of, really. I think it was worth it. The main reason it was worth it was because we raised 150 quid for charity, which is pretty decent, I think. And any money to charity is worth it. It did take a lot of time and lots of preparation, but I think it was definitely worth it because we got to play some music that we really enjoy playing, and certainly I enjoy Christmas songs, and I know the rest of the group do as well. We are hoping to do one of a similar scale next year, another Christmas gig, probably a similar scale. We may change the venue, we may get other people involved, just depending on who's around at that time of year, but yeah, we're definitely up for doing the same sort of thing again. It was a good gig, an enjoyable gig, both to play and I hope to listen to. Certainly, I think that this venture is an evolving product.
I get a round of applause for Dan Simpson.
It is an ever mutating thing, and I think that's the thing that's different about this venture from other things, because it isn't a solid thing, and that has its challenges because we have to constantly relearn what we are. But yeah, I think we're going to branch out into more and more music as we go along, do more and more rocky stuff, more and more jazzy stuff, more and more everything-y stuff, and yeah, that's this venture for you, really. Can I sing?
Of course you can.
Cool. I haven't played this on piano before, so it might go wrong. As I was walking one morning in spring, to hear the larks whistle and the gully birds sing, I heard a sweet maiden making a moan, but alas, I'm a stranger a long way from home. I came from sweet England with my mother and dad, and I thought in America all could be had, of gold and of silver and acres galore, and I never meet hunger and poverty more. But alas for sweet England, my father is dead, and my mother can earn, but there's little for bread. I dream as I gaze o'er the far distant main, for some fine ship to take me to England again. Now my mother is dead, and I'm left all alone. But if I were in England, no more would I roam. And my aunt's in the country, and she loves me humane. So won't some ship take me to England again? Sweet England again. Sweet England again. There's a neat little cottage with a rose at the door, and there with my aunt I will live my life, for I'll nurse her in sickness and tend to her pain, and thank God I'm back in sweet England